everybody to the final screening of Eclipse Youth Animation and Film Festival, which is, I believe, Ireland's first youth animation festival. We've had 2 weeks of workshops. We've had a lot of young people being involved. The reason I started this was because I wanted to bring a new platform for young people for creative expression, and so I'm hoping that through these workshops people have learned some skills that, well, even if they don't think of taking up animation as a career, will at least give them an interest in something new. Ireland has become a place that is a very valid space for having a career in animation or filmmaking, and we'll see later in our programme an interview with a young man who's just graduated from college in Dún Laoghaire as an animator and is now an award-winning animator. So I'd like to start by showing you the results of the first week of workshops through facilitator Pádraig Fagan from Matchbox Mountain, who, through the sponsorship of Young Irish Filmmakers, spent 4 days doing workshops with young people, and here is the results of all their hard work. Each second, if you think about it, each second of film has 12 frames, which is 12 drawings, so that's a lot of work to produce these beautiful animations. Weren't they fantastic? I want you to bear in mind that these animations are probably, for a lot of these young people, are their first ever animation. I think they've done really well. They've obviously got the hang of it really quickly, and it's been quite difficult doing it online. It's so much easier if you can be in the room with someone and show them what to do rather than have to describe it all to them. So now we're going to be looking at the second week's worth of workshops. So we had digital animation with a young girl called Emma Louise Tyne, who's only 15, who had great patience in describing to all the young people how to use an app that they could draw animation on their tablet with. We also have stop motion animation that was done with a facilitator called Natalie Elbaba from East Clare, an artist, and then also myself and Chris Clune did a sound recording or Foley art workshop, and a lot of the young people recorded their own sounds, and we've put them to some films and animations to bring them to life. So sit back and enjoy all those animations from the second week. So the second week was sponsored by Clare County Council's Community Support Scheme. We also were very lucky to have an interview which was taken on Zoom, so the quality isn't great, but I think the content is great. This is a shortened version. I will be uploading the full version, but this is a shortened version of an interview with a young man called Liam Fahey, who is a recent graduate of AADT in Dunleary, the Irish Film School, an award-winning graduate. Okay, everybody, I'd like to introduce someone who I met as a young teenager, and we made a film together with a group called Colin and Ogue, and his name is Liam Fahey. Liam, maybe you could tell us, how did you first get into animation?
I always loved cartoons since I was a wee lad growing up on the Den. But it was around third year of secondary school when I found out that art college was a thing you could do after secondary school. You could actually go to a place and actually study art and do art and not have to bother with maths. So once I found out that was a thing, I was like, yes, that sounds like the thing for me. All right. I didn't even know animation was a subject you could do. So what I did in third year was I started going to any open days I could find. And I think, the first one I went to was in the Limerick School of Art and Design in Limerick. And that was kind of my first exposure to what an art college physically was. And it's crazy. The Limerick School of Art and Design is a really lovely building. It just blew my mind walking through it. There's like art everywhere. There's all the studios and all the students in there are doing their own creative thing. And it just blew my mind because it was nothing like secondary school at all. The Limerick School is kind of more 50-50 design and fine art, but probably more in the fine art was kind of my impression. So I tried to see if I could find a more design-based college. And that's what kind of led me to IEDT, the Institute of Art and Design Technology in Dunleary, up in Dublin, and which is also the National Film School as well. So again, I was like, oh, this place has film as well. Oh, this is really interesting. So I started looking into them then, found out when the open day was, and I was like, cool, I'm going to head up there. So I went through like all the different talks. Every course like had its own talk going on about what was involved. And I thought it was a very good sign that I kept coming back to the animation talk. I went to the animation talk, I think 3 times. It was that good. And I was like, okay, that's a sign I'm pretty interested in animation. It was just really cool. The lecturers were really cool. The students were really cool. And they had loads of sample portfolios laid out. And I was like, oh, this looks like the stuff I want to do. The deciding factor then when I was coming into Leaving Cert then and trying to figure out my CEO form, like, okay, what do I really need to put down here? I was like, okay, animation is my number one because it pretty much encompassed all my interests. So I like drawing, which is a good one. You need that for animation, definitely. Lots of drawing. I like acting. I was involved in the Clare Youth Theatre for 4 years, I think it was. And I loved it. Absolutely loved the Clare Youth Theatre. I loved kind of the improv and the storytelling that we were doing and the acting. And animation is pretty much, an animator is like an invisible actor, effectively. We're like puppeteers in a way. So that was covered as well. And film, I loved film. Again, got to do some film with Emma back in Cornwall and Oak. That was kind of my first, I think that was kind of my first like proper like youth film experience. And I really just loved like the planning that went behind it. I loved the storyboarding, trying to figure out what are the shots. And I really loved the editing process then afterwards of cutting everything, of getting all the footage then and cutting it all together. So I was like, okay, well, it ticks all these boxes for me. I really liked the talk at the open day. The college itself was really nice, like not too big, not too small. It was like just the right size for me. And I was like, you know what? That's it for me. So I'm going to IADT, hook up by crook. I just need to get a portfolio now and I'll be sorted. So that was kind of what led me towards kind of choosing animation as a route. It was at the open day in IADT that I first discovered what a PLC course was. So they recommended that, okay, you can do your portfolio during the Leaving Cert, on top of all your other studies as well. Try to get together this massive artwork to send to see if you're good enough to get in. If you can get in then. Kind of almost like a transition year between secondary school and college. And I was lucky enough that I actually did get in then to the course on my first try.
When you graduated from IDT, I believe you entered your final piece of film into the animation festival in Dingle, where you were awarded 2 prizes. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Did my 4 years, and then final year of college, you have the opportunity to produce a grad film. So you spend your last year, your final year project is to make a film. And then I started submitting to loads of festivals, and it didn't get accepted to a lot of festivals, but that's typical. That's apparently pretty typical. First festival that it kind of really got accepted at was the Dublin Animation Film Festival, which is in Dunleary. And it got on really well there. It got the Audience Choice Award there, so it had that accolade on it, at least, when I submitted then to Dingle. Dingle was, of course, had to go completely virtual because of the pandemic. I was watching the presentation online on my own up in Dublin in my small little box room that I had for college. I nearly fell out of my seat when they announced that I had gotten the best. It was the film was awarded best writer, and I was like, oh my god, what incredible! I wasn't expecting the Audience Choice Award in DAF, so this was just like cherry on top. I was like, that's what incredible. I can never ask for anything ever again. This is great. And then they hit me again with the announcement that I had also won the best 2D film as well. I was like, oh my, what? I was on the floor. I literally fell off my seat with shock. It was kind of the most triumphant moment, but also kind of the loneliest moment as well, because I was just on my own. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, so that was kind of a really nice bookend to my student career, I suppose you could say. I honestly could not have asked for more.
In terms of that, then bringing it on to your career, tell us now: are you working in the animation industry? Is it something that there are jobs for in Ireland? Tell us about your graduate friends. Are they working in the film in the animation industry?
Yes, I can. I'm very happy to say that a good chunk of my class, I'd even say 90% of my class are actually working in the industry now. I myself and around, I think, 3 others of my classmates were working for a company called HMH, which is one of the main educational textbook publishers in the United States for their schools. And we're producing what you could call motion graphics animations for them. So we're doing educational videos for teaching stuff like maths and English. Was not the job I thought I would get out of college, but I was happy to get it when I did. It started as my dream job in animation, but it's still very good, and it's very rewarding as well, because we're making content that is helping kids find maths a tiny bit less boring. There's a group, I think there's a couple down in Lighthouse in Kilkenny. Lighthouse Studios is the sister studio to Cartoon Saloon, who've done Secret of Kells, Song of the Sea, and Wolfwalkers, their latest one. There's a good load of us, and then 1 or 2 others. Then the remainder then are applying for funding to make their own new shorts, and a couple of them have actually gone on and made new short films. I've 1 or 2 friends then that are pursuing animation, doing a master's degree. A lot of people are definitely busy. I don't think anyone's left with empty hands, really, which is good to report.
So to finish up then, what would you say to the young people that have been taking part in our workshops over the last 2 weeks and have produced some of them have produced their first animations ever, and maybe have picked up an interest in animation? What kind of little bit of advice would you give to them? I think you said one of the things you said to me was animation was something that you can get into and your parents aren't going to give out to you for, because even though it's art, it's a kind of art that you can get a job in. So what kind of advice would you give to them?
You could say to mom and dad, you can say, no, listen here, there's jobs in animation. And again, Cartoon Saloon in Kilkenny is probably the best example to point you. Like, look, there's award-winning studios in Ireland, and they are hiring good people. There's a lot of animation studios in Ireland that you probably would not have heard. Like, I never heard of any of these studios outside of Cartoon Saloon until I started in animation, and I was shocked to hear that. Oh my God, there's like they made that series. I thought that was made over in the States, but no, it turns out it was actually made here. It was maybe like pre-produced in the States, like the story and stuff, but then it was shipped over here. And there's a great history of that in Ireland as well. That's kind of how animation started in Ireland as well. Don Bluth, who did like American Tail and all those, he came over after leaving Disney and set that up here. So we've had this great like history of making animation in Ireland, and it's only going from strength to strength. Plus the skills you learn in animation can be applied to so many different areas. So even though, yes, I've studied as an animator, like I know, like I've studied design, which can be applied to stuff like graphic design as well. So I could turn my hand to pretty much anything with the skills that I've gained from animation. It's kind of a really good, because animation itself like covers so many different areas as well, which is a really nice thing to have as part of a course as well, is that you kind of can get this broad kind of skill set. So animation, so animating covers the movement part of it, but there's also background art, which is all about creating beautiful background illustrations for the characters to be staged in. You've got more technical sides where like people like set up like rigging and kind of coding, so it makes the characters easier to animate. And then there's 3D, which has its so many different areas in it as well. So you'll come out of it, if you do pursue animation, you'll come out of it with quite a broad skill set. And it's a lovely industry to work in as well. To work in animation, you have to be nice. you have to just be like, you have to be a decent person. Because if you're not a decent person, or if you're awkward to work with, you don't last very long. So the people who are in the industry are very, very nice people. We're good team workers. And animation is very much a team. No animator is an island. You can animate things on your own, but it's always easier with friends. So you'll actually end up getting like a lot of close friends as well.
That's really lovely, Liam. Thank you ever so much for talking to me tonight. We're now going to show some animations. We're going to start off with some of your colleagues that you graduated with and show their animations, and then we'll finish with your award-winning animation, which will be fantastic, which is how to rob a witch.
Well done. You remembered it. That's very good. Yeah.
So thank you again, Liam, and it's been a pleasure to work with you again.
Thank you very much. It's been great. It's been great catching up as well again. And yeah, enjoy the films. Enjoy the films, everybody. They're varied and different. And the people who made them are very cool. And hopefully, maybe one day you too will make your own. And we'll see you in the industry. Who knows? Who knows?
What are you wearing?
I'm a level 8 wizard, and I'm going to a role-playing game later. These snacks, they're for me and my friends. We spend our Friday nights vanquishing evil together. Last week, my faithful friends and I entered the Wandering Woods, tasked with defeating the great evil that plagued the land. Upon seeing the vile fiend, our very souls were struck with dread. Its jaws could break bones, its hands could tear men apart, and its eyes were soulless, full of hate. I watched as all my companions were struck down, and as I raised my staff in the last dying attempt to purge the evil, it was... So I'm just gonna, bye.
Nerd.
маленький противный ковбой снова здесь. Ла-ла-ла-ла-ла-ла-ла-ла. Заберите его в ГУЛАГ.
Did you know that there are tiny air bubbles of gas floating around in your joints? Not mine. Yours. Especially his. Until he does that. Dance. He whispers. I do. But only because I want to. We sway in our own little bubble. A sense of happiness that only he can give me. Him. Me. That noise again interrupting, demanding a moment of its own. I think he's testing me. My loyalty, my patience. Pulling me in ways I don't want to be pulled. But I let him anyway. Oh, why won't it stop? Does she tell you to do it? The other woman. I watch from the shelf at the two of yous together, but you know my problem isn't with her. They say it's the nitrogen. But if nitrogen is non-flammable, then why does it ignite a rage that even the softest bubble cannot subdue? incandescent sound. Popping, deafening, irresponsible. What a lie it is to say that love conquers all. I'd be lying if I said I loved you enough. I would have danced on fire for you. But you burst mine. I burst yours.
Good morning, Daffodil Girl, Eco Warrior. Hang on there, Wonder Whiskers. We've got a super day ahead of us. Guys! Hey, guys!
Hey!
Kapow! Ka-chew! A cat! Don't worry, I'll get you down from there. Just stay right there. So that's how it's gonna be.
Seriously, Leocra, come on. Guys, we've got a situation.
What's all that about? I'm just trying to help you, and you're... Well, that's just rude. Guys, a little help here would be nice. Why won't you just let me help you?
Well, what do you know? I guess you were the hero after all.
Guys, what happened here?
You know what they say. You know what they say. They say if you eat too much of that stuff, you'll turn into one.
Flying saucer? But that's impossible. Flying saucers, Captain, are still a rumor. Officially.
Believe there are such things as flying saucers.
Hello, operator. Give me the police department. Hurry.
Look after me. Living up alone. Look after me. We have a bulletin just received. According to a report not yet confirmed, a beast of seemingly gigantic proportions has been sighted lurking in the hills due northeast of town. Citizens should take refuge in places of safety. Cellars, bomb shelters. City officials have called for military help. Planes and troops are expected to arrive within the next 2 hours.
Look after me, living up alone. 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 Living up alone.
There are flying saucers. No doubt they are in our skies. Been there for some time.
Quite a sight, wasn't it, sir?
A sight I'd rather not be seeing.
What an amazing selection of animations, all very different styles. Really high quality work coming out of our colleges. Thank you all for joining us today, and I'm sure you've realised by now this isn't actually live, so you can rewind it as much as you want to watch your videos and animations that you've done. Thanks ever so much for all the people who took part in our workshops, all the young people who put hours and hours literally of work into their animations, all the facilitators, Parek, Natalie, Chris, Emma, for all their time and effort in working with difficult conditions. We're all used to working with young people in the same room as us, so it's very hard to work in these circumstances, but I think you can agree a lot of great stuff has come out of the last 2 weeks. Also, thank you to the parents for their background support, so I know some people were very stressed with the technicality side of things and sending films, but you know, it worked anyway, so well done everyone and thanks very much.